Welcome to the session on human resources. Firstly, coming to the introduction. Human resources refers to the set of individuals who make up the workforce of an organization, business sector, or an economy. Human capital is sometimes used synonymously with human resources, although human capital typically refers to a more narrow view, that is the knowledge the individuals possess and can contribute towards an organization. Likewise, other terms sometimes used include manpower, talent, labor, or simply people. The professional discipline and business function that oversees an organization's human resources is called human resource management, that is HRM or simply HR. A human resources department is a critical component of employee well-being in any business, no matter how small. HR responsibilities include payroll, benefits, hiring, and keeping up to date with state and federal tax laws. Any mix-up concerning these issues can cause major legal problems to the business as well as major employee dissatisfaction. But small businesses often don't have the staff or the budget to properly handle the details of HR. Because of this, more and more small businesses are beginning to outsource their HR needs. Since mid-1980s, human resource management or HRM has gained acceptance in both academic and commercial circle. HRM is a multidisciplinary organizational function that draws theories and ideas from various fields such as management, psychology, sociology, and economics. Next, let us understand a few definitions of HRM. Human resources management is a management function concerned with hiring, motivating, and maintaining people in an organization. It focuses on people in organizations. Human resource management is designing management systems to ensure that human talent is used effectively and efficiently to accomplish the organizational goals. HRM is the personnel function which is concerned with procurement, development, compensation, integration, and maintenance of the personnel of an organization for the purpose of contributing towards the accomplishments of the organization's objectives. Therefore, personnel management is the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of the performance of those operative functions. According to Ivan and Glueck, HRM is concerned with the most effective use of people to achieve organizational and individual goals. It is the way of managing people at work so that they give in their best to the organization. Generally, HRM refers to the management of people in organizations. It comprises of the activities, policies, and practices involved in obtaining, developing, utilizing, evaluating, maintaining, and retaining the appropriate number and skill mix of employees to accomplish the organization's objectives. The goal of HRM is to maximize employees' contributions in order to achieve optimal productivity and effectiveness while simultaneously attaining individual objectives, such as having a challenging job and obtaining recognition, and societal objectives such as legal compliance, and demonstrating social responsibility. In short, human resource management can be defined as the art of procuring, developing, and maintaining competent workforce to achieve the goals of an organization in an effective and efficient manner. Now, next coming to the nature and the scope of human resource management. HRM is a management function that helps managers to recruit, select, train, and develop members for an organization. HRM is concerned with people's dimension in organizations. The following constitute the core of HRM. Firstly, HRM involves the application of management and functions and principles. The functions and principles are applied to acquiring, developing, maintaining, and providing remuneration to employees in an organization. Now, next is the decision relating to employees must be integrated. That is, the decisions on different aspects of employees must be consistent with other human resource decisions. Third, the decisions made influence the effectiveness of an organization. Effectiveness of an organization will result in betterment of services to customers in the form of high quality products supplied at reasonable cost. Fourth, HRM functions are not confined to business establishments only, but applicable to non-business organizations such as education, healthcare, recreation, and like. HRM refers to a set of programs, functions, and activities designed and carried out in order to maximize both employee as well as organizational effectiveness. Next, moving on to the scope of HRM. The scope of human resources management extends to all the decisions, strategies, factors, principles, operations, practices, functions, activities, and methods related to the management of people as employees in any type of organization. All the dimensions related to people in their employment relationships and all the dynamics that flow from it. The American Society for Training and Development, that is ASTD, conducted fairly an exhaustive study in this field and identified 9 broad areas of activities of HRM. These are given below. That is, human resource planning, design of the organization and job, selection and staffing, training and development, organizational development, compensation and benefits, employee assistance, union or labor relations, and finally, personal research and information system. Now, coming to human resource planning. The objective of HR planning is to ensure that the organization has the right types of persons at the right time at the right place. It prepares human resources inventory with the view to assess present and future needs, availability and possible shortages in human resource. Thereupon, HR planning forecasts demand and supplies and identifies sources of selection. HR planning develops strategies both long term and short term to meet the manpower requirement. Next is the design of organization and job. This is the task of laying down organization structure, authority, relationship, and responsibilities. This will also mean definition of work contents for each position in the organization. This is done by job description. Another important step is job specification. Job specification identifies the attributes of persons who will be most suitable for each job, which is defined by job description. Now, the next criteria is selection and staffing. This is the process of recruitment and selection of staff. This involves matching people and their expectations with which the job specifications and career path available within the organization. And then comes training and development. This involves an organized attempt to find out training needs of the individuals to meet the knowledge and skill which is needed not only to perform the current job but also to fulfill the future needs of the organization. Then comes organizational development. This is an important aspect whereby synergistic effect is generated in an organization, that is, healthy interpersonal and intergroup relationship within the organization. Next comes compensation and benefits. This is the area of wages and salaries administration, where wages and compensations are fixed scientifically to meet fairness and equity criteria. In addition, labor welfare measures are involved which include benefits and services. Next comes employee assistance. Each employee is unique in character, personality, expectation and temperament. By and large, each one of them faces problems every day. Some are personal and some are official. In their case, he or she remains worried. Such worries must be removed to make him or her more productive and happy. Then is the union-labor relations. Healthy industrial and labor relations are very important for enhancing peace and productivity in an organization. This is one of the areas of HRM. Personal research and information system. Knowledge on behavioral science and industrial psychology throws better insight into the worker's expectations, aspirations and behavior. Thus, continuous research in HR areas is an unavoidable requirement. It must also take special care for improving exchange of information through effective communication systems on a continuous basis, especially on morale and motivation. HRM is a broad concept. Personnel management, that is PM, and human resource development, that is HRD, are all a part of HRM. Now next let us move on to the objectives of HRM. The first would be societal objectives. To seek to ensure that the organization becomes socially responsible to the needs and challenges of the society while minimizing the negative impact of such demands upon the organization. The failure of the organizations to use their resources for the society's benefits in ethical ways may lead to restriction. Second is the organizational objectives. It recognizes the role of HRM in bringing about organizational effectiveness. It makes sure that HRM is not a standalone department, but rather a means to assist the organization with its primary objectives. The HR department exists to serve the rest of the organization. Third comes the functional objectives. It is to maintain the department's contribution at a level appropriate to the organization's needs. Human resources are to be adjusted to suit the organization's demands. The department's values should not become too expensive at the cost of the organization it serves. The fourth would be personal objectives. It is to assist employees in achieving their personal goals, at least as far as these goals enhance the individual's contribution to the organization. Now next coming to functions of HRM. Human resources management has an important role to play in equipping organizations to meet the challenges of an expanding and increasingly competitive sector. Increase in staff members, contractual diversification and changes in demographic profile which compel the HR managers to reconfigure the role and significance of human resources management. The functions are responsive to current staffing needs but can be proactive in reshaping organizational objectives. All the functions of HRM are correlated with the core objectives of HRM. Now coming to the HRM objectives supporting functions. HR management can be thought of as 7 interlinked functions taking place within organizations. Additionally, external forces such as legal, economic, technological, global, environmental, cultural or geographic, political and social significantly affect how HR functions are designed, managed and changed. The functions can be grouped as follows. The first function would be strategic HR management. As a part of maintaining organizational competitiveness, strategic planning for HR effectiveness can be increased through the use of HR metrics and HR technology. Human resource planning, that is HRP, function determine the number and type of employees needed to accomplish organizational goals. HRP includes creating venture teams with a balanced skill mix, recruiting the right people and voluntary team assignment. This function analyzes and determines personal needs in order to create effective innovation teams. The basic HRP strategy is staffing and employee development. Now next is the equal employment opportunity. Compliance with equal employment opportunity, that is EEO, laws and regulations affects all other HR activities. Third is staffing. The aim of staffing is to provide a sufficient supply of qualified individuals to fill jobs in an organization. Job analysis, recruitment and selection are the main functions under staffing. Fourth is the talent management and development. Beginning with the orientation of new employees, talent management and development includes different types of training. Training and development programs provide useful means of assuring that the employees are capable of performing their jobs at acceptable levels and also more than that. All the organizations provide training for new and inexperienced employees. In addition, organizations often provide both on-the-job and off-the-job training programs for those employees whose jobs are undergoing changes. Now, fifth is the total rewards. Compensation in the form of pay, incentives and benefits are the rewards given to the employees for performing organizational work. Compensation management is the method for determining how much employees should be paid for performing certain jobs. Compensation affects staffing in that people are generally attracted to organizations offering a higher level of pay in exchange for the work performed. The sixth would be risk management and worker protection. HRM addresses various workplace risks to ensure protection of workers by meeting the legal requirements and being more responsive to concerns for workplace health and safety along with disaster and recovery planning. Seventh would be the employee and labor relations. The relationship between managers and their employees must be handled legally and effectively. Employer and employee rights must be addressed. It is important to develop, communicate and update HR policies and procedures so that managers and employees alike know what is expected. With regard to labor relations, the major function of HR personnel includes negotiating with the unions regarding wages, service conditions and resolving disputes and grievances. Now let us understand what is the role of HRM. The role of HRM is to plan, develop and administer policies and programs designed to make optimum use of an organization's human resources. It is that part of management which is concerned with the people at work and with their relationship within enterprises. Its objectives are effective utilization of human resources, desirable working relationships among all members of the organizations, and maximum individual development. Human resources function as primarily administrative and professional. HR staff focused on administering benefits and other payroll and operational functions and didn't think of themselves as playing a part in the firm's overall strategy. HR professionals have an all-encompassing role. They are required to have a thorough knowledge of the organization and its intricacies and complexities. The ultimate goal of every HR person should be to develop a linkage between the employee and organization, because employees' commitment to the organization is very crucial. The primary responsibilities of human resource managers are to develop a thorough knowledge of corporate culture, plans and policies, to act as an internal change agent and consultant, to initiate change and act as an expert and facilitator, to actively involve in company strategy formulation, to keep communication line open between the HRD function and individuals and groups both within and outside the organization, to identify and evolve HRD strategies in consonance with overall business strategy, to facilitate the development of various organizational teams and their working relationship with other teams and individuals, to try and relate people and work so that the organization objectives are achieved efficiently and effectively, to diagnose problems and determine appropriate solution, particularly in the human resource areas, to provide coordination and support services for the delivery of HRD programs and services, to evaluate the impact of HRD intervention or to conduct research so as to identify, develop or test how HRD in general has improved individual and organizational performance. Now, how is HRM going to be looked at in the new millennium? Human resources have never been more indispensable than today. The competitive forces that we face today will continue to face in the future, demanding organizational existence. In order to achieve this extended quality, organizations need to focus on learning, quality development, teamwork and re-engineering. These factors are driven by the way organizations implement things and how employees are treated. Finally, coming to the summary of this topic. It is critical that today's organizations align their human resources to better meet strategic objectives. A failure to do so results in wasted time, energy and resources. Organizations are more likely to achieve this alignment with their corporate objectives when they review their recruitment and selection processes for fit, communicate the mission and vision statements, use joint goal setting, design an appropriate reward system, empower the workforce, promote and develop from within and use teams to achieve synergy. Human resource management is the management function that helps the managers to plan, recruit, select, train, develop, remunerate and maintain members for an organization. HRM has 4 objectives of societal, organizational, functional and personal development. An organization must have set policies, definite procedures, and well-defined principles relating to its personnel, and these contribute to the effectiveness, continuity, and stability of the organization. Thank you.